There is fire in the boxing world as discussions heat up about Terence Crawford possibly facing Canelo Alvarez. Some fans insist Crawford cannot be knocked out, and they question where the evidence is that suggests otherwise. Just because he may not be the naturally bigger man does not mean he is at a disadvantage. Asked for a percentage, one analyst boldly gave Crawford more than an 85% chance of defeating Canelo. The reasoning was that Crawford is not entering the ring to prove something to anyone. He knows that falling into that mindset would play into Canelo's hands. Instead, he is stepping in with the focus and composure of a fighter who expects to win. Oleksandr Usyk has weighed in on the matchup, making a strong statement that Canelo may be making a serious mistake by facing Terence Crawford. Usyk described Crawford as the #1 boxer in the world and the best pound-for-pound fighter of this era. He emphasized the respect he has for Crawford's skill set, putting him on a level above other fighters, including Canelo. When asked about whether Crawford truly deserves to be considered #1, some fans and analysts admitted it was debatable since pound-for-pound lists are subjective. But most agreed Crawford is certainly among the very top. Meanwhile, Usyk was asked why Daniel Dubois had shoved him during a recent confrontation. Usyk replied with a smile that maybe Dubois was simply afraid of him. As for Crawford himself, he has been projecting supreme confidence heading into the fight. He has repeatedly said that victory for him is not just a possibility, but an expectation. He sees himself as the more skilled fighter who is prepared for every possible outcome. Such a mindset is more than just bravado. It reflects his years of dominating opponents across weight classes. Fighters who project this type of assurance often place psychological pressure on their opponents. Crawford explained that no matter how people rate him, it makes no difference because once the fight begins, he knows he is going to win. In questions about the contractual terms, Crawford revealed there is no rematch clause for this fight with Canelo. He also confirmed there are no weight restrictions. While many fighters might prefer to add stipulations like rehydration clauses to limit an opponent, Crawford refused to do so. He explained that he wants Canelo at his absolute best, leaving no excuses or complaints afterward. Crawford's coach has also sent a clear warning to Canelo Alvarez. He stressed that when Crawford sets his sights on a goal, he never turns back. Throughout his career, Crawford has taken challenges that many thought were impossible, and this fight is no exception. His coach explained that Crawford's greatness comes not just from talent, but also from relentless mental toughness, discipline, and hunger. He noted that unlike other fighters, Crawford refuses to back down or coast in the ring. He always comes forward, never fights only on the back foot, and possesses the guts and fighting spirit that separate him from others. According to his coach, when the fight begins, Canelo must be ready because Crawford will not hesitate. He will step directly to him. Jarrell Miller added another point, highlighting Crawford's hunger as a decisive factor. In boxing, hunger often outweighs experience and even natural size advantages. Canelo has already achieved wealth, championships, and fame, but Crawford is chasing a historic legacy. That difference in motivation could tilt the balance. Crawford's hunger pushes him to train harder, prepare longer, and remain sharper under pressure. When asked for his prediction, Miller admitted he is pulling for Crawford. He believes many people underestimate Crawford's strength and size, and sees him as hungrier than Canelo at this stage of their careers. While acknowledging that both men are great fighters, Miller's support is slightly closer to Crawford. The discussion then shifted to the IBA Pro concept, where fighters' official records are not affected by matches. Some saw this as a good opportunity for boxers to build their skills and earn money without fear of losing their professional record. Boxing legend Bernard Hopkins gave one of the boldest endorsements of Crawford, assigning him an 85% chance of victory. Hopkins, a man who deeply values intelligence, strategy, and adaptability, sees these exact qualities in Crawford. According to Hopkins, Crawford has the ability to nullify Canelo's advantages and establish himself as superior from the opening round. Hopkins explained that if Crawford enters the fight without trying to prove toughness, he will avoid falling into Canelo's trap. Instead, he should calmly establish his place from round 1, showing that Canelo's time is fading. Tim Bradley also made a compelling argument. He reminded fans that Canelo has been frustrated before by fighters with far less skill than Crawford. William Skull, for example, managed to drag Canelo through 12 rounds and limit him to just 152 punches thrown. If someone of Skull's level could do that, then Crawford, widely regarded as the most skilled fighter alive, can certainly do even more. Bradley repeated that if opponents like Charlo or Berlanga could survive 12 rounds with Canelo, then Crawford, with his boxing IQ and adaptability, absolutely has the tools to do the same and possibly dominate. Andre Durrell, also known as Dubé, dismissed the controversy about Canelo sparring with Jaron Boots Ennis. According to him, sparring partners come and go, and fans shouldn't overhype it. Ennis's family has long had a connection with Canelo, and such arrangements are not unusual. What matters in the end is execution under the lights, not sparring sessions. Crawford's style is unique and cannot be duplicated by anyone in sparring. Crawford himself explained his philosophy on knockouts. He pointed out that knockouts are not only about raw punching power, but about the punches opponents never see coming. In his career, he has noticed that when he loads up for big shots, opponents usually brace for them. However, the fluid, unexpected punches are the ones that truly hurt. Marcus Brown offered further insight into Crawford's preparation, noting that he regularly spars with much larger men, including heavyweights. Because of this, Crawford is accustomed to absorbing hard punches without panic. This experience ensures he won't be rattled when Canelo lands his best shots. Brown, despite respecting both fighters, said he personally favors Crawford. Victor Ortiz also gave his opinion. He described the fight as a masterstroke for boxing, not just for the spectacle, but also for its competitive balance. Ortiz dismissed the idea that Canelo's size advantage would be decisive. He pointed out that Crawford and Canelo are nearly the same height, with Canelo only having thicker legs. Ortiz, who grew up around Crawford in the Midwest, insisted that Crawford is more athletic, can box, can bang, and has all the tools to win easily. However, analysts also cautioned that Crawford is entering dangerous territory. Moving from welterweight and 147 pounds all the way up to super middleweight at 168 pounds is a historic leap. Canelo has proven himself against naturally bigger and stronger champions, showing that he can handle elite competition at this weight. Crawford, on the other hand, has had to carefully transform his body through conditioning and training. Interestingly, in early 2025, Crawford posted a photo showing his weight at 186 pounds, which shocked many who thought he was naturally smaller. Amir Khan also weighed in, praising Crawford's precision and ability to accumulate damage, especially with body shots. He argued that Crawford's ability to dictate the pace of fights frustrates opponents and forces mistakes. Khan acknowledged that many people underestimate how skill can overcome size, and he believes Crawford's style is perfectly suited to neutralize Canelo. Crawford's recent face-off push against Canelo was also noted as more than just theatrics. Analysts such as Showbiz the Adult viewed it as a psychological tactic. It was Crawford sending a message that he is not intimidated and that he is determined to seize control even before the first punch is thrown. Marcus Brown once again emphasized that Crawford's comfort sparring with larger men means he won't be shocked by Canelo's strength. Asked if that could play on Crawford's mind, Brown said no, because Crawford has already been facing bigger men throughout his training. What will make the difference is his high-level boxing IQ. Victor Ortiz reiterated that Crawford's style is highly effective because it combines athleticism, intelligence, and toughness. He rejected the notion that Crawford is too small, explaining that in reality, Crawford looks physically bigger than people imagine. Andy Lee summarized the excitement around the fight. He rejected the idea that Crawford is undersized, pointing out that he has physically grown into the higher weight classes. He stressed that this is boxing at its finest, skill against power, speed against strength.
He argued that size alone does not guarantee victory for Canelo, as Crawford's agility, creativity, and tactical flexibility could balance the scales. For Lee, this is a great fight between two evenly matched fighters, each with the tools to win. The anticipation surrounding Crawford versus Canelo is not just about titles or records. It's about legacies, history, and the clash of two of boxing's biggest names. From legends like Hopkins and Usyk to current fighters like Ortiz and Khan, opinions lean heavily towards Crawford being able to achieve the upset. Yet others remind fans to not dismiss Canelo, who has consistently proven his dominance at higher weights. Whatever the outcome, the fight promises to be one of the biggest and most defining moments in modern boxing.